What if the most fuel-efficient car you know just turned into something actually exciting to drive? The 2025 Toyota Prius AWD isn't just about saving gas anymore, it's faster, sharper, and now comes with all-wheel drive, something Prius fans never really expected. On paper, it looks like the perfect daily driver, but does it finally fix the one thing people always complained about? And more importantly, could this be the smartest alternative to expensive EVs right now? Stick around, because the answer might completely change how you see hybrid cars. For years, the Prius has been known as the go-to hybrid for people who care more about fuel savings than driving excitement. Built by Toyota, it practically defined what a hybrid car should be in the modern era: reliable, efficient, and incredibly practical. But let's be honest, it was never the car you'd buy for style or performance. That's exactly where the 2025 Prius AWD flips the script. This L18ST version, in just a small update, it's a complete transformation. Toyota has taken everything people loved about the Prius, its incredible fuel economy and daily usability, and combined it with a bold new design, sharper lines, and something that makes a real difference in everyday driving: all-wheel drive. That means better traction in bad weather and more confidence on the road, especially for drivers in places where conditions aren't always perfect. But here's why this launch actually matters right now. With electric vehicles getting more expensive and charging still not ideal for everyone, hybrids like the Prius are suddenly more relevant than ever, especially in the US market. The big question is, can this new Prius really deliver the best of both worlds? Because on paper, it sounds almost too good: efficient, practical, and now, actually fun. And that's exactly what we're about to find out in the full breakdown. Let's start with what you notice first, because this doesn't look like the Prius you remember. The 2025 model has completely transformed its design. It sits lower, wider, and far more aggressive, with sharp LED headlights and a sleek, almost coupe-like silhouette. From the side, it feels more like a sporty fastback than a traditional hybrid, and that alone changes how people react to it on the road. Step inside, and things feel just as different. The cabin is now more driver-focused, with a clean, modern layout that puts everything within easy reach. The digital gauge cluster is positioned higher, closer to your line of sight, while the large central touchscreen handles most controls. Materials feel more refined than before, and there's a noticeable effort to make the interior feel premium without pushing the price to high. It's still practical, but now it actually feels like a place you'd enjoy spending time in. Now let's talk performance, because this is where things get interesting. Under the hood, the Prius combines a hybrid powertrain with an electric motor that supports the rear wheels, giving you all-wheel drive. The result: better traction in rain, snow, or rough conditions, but also a surprising boost in confidence when accelerating. It's not a sports car, but compared to older Prius models, this one feels quicker, smoother, and far more responsive. Merging onto highways or overtaking slower traffic feels effortless, which is a big step forward. And of course, fuel economy is still a major highlight. You're getting impressive MPG numbers that make this one of the most efficient AWD cars available today. That means fewer stops at the pump and more money saved over time, something that still matters a lot, especially with fluctuating fuel prices. On the tech side, the Prius still doesn't hold back either. You get advanced driver assistance features, a responsive infotainment system, smartphone connectivity, and multiple safety systems designed to make daily driving easier and safer. It's built to handle real-world use, whether you're commuting, road tripping, or just running errands. But it's not perfect. That sleek design does come with a slight trade-off in rear visibility, and some drivers might find the lower roofline a bit less spacious in the back compared to older models. And while it's definitely more engaging to drive than before, it still leans more toward comfort and efficiency rather than full-on performance. So now the real question starts to build, because on paper, this looks like one of the smartest cars you can buy right now. But does the pricing actually make sense? And are there any hidden compromises you should know before making a decision? That's where things get even more interesting. Alright, this is the moment where everything either comes together or falls apart. Out on the road, the first thing you notice is how different this Prius feels. Press the accelerator, and instead of that slow, droning response older models were known for, this one actually moves with confidence. The power delivery is smooth but noticeably quicker, and when you need that extra push like merging onto a busy highway, it responds without hesitation. But the real surprise hits when conditions aren't perfect. Take it through a wet road or a tight corner, and that AWD system quietly steps in, giving you extra grip and stability. You don't feel anything dramatic, it just works in the background, making the car feel planted and secure. And that's the turning point, because for the first time, the Prius doesn't just feel efficient, it feels capable. Then comes the everyday test: city driving, stop and go traffic, the kind of situations most people actually deal with. And here, the Prius absolutely shines. It's smooth, easy to handle, and incredibly comfortable. The hybrid system transitions seamlessly, keeping everything quiet and refined. This is where it reminds you why the Prius built its reputation in the first place, but now, it's doing it at a much higher level. But here's the honest reality: push it hard, and you'll still notice its limits. It's not trying to be a performance car, and if that's what you're expecting, you'll feel that gap. The steering is controlled but not overly sporty, and while it's improved, it's still tuned more for efficiency than excitement. So this is the big reveal, the moment everything becomes clear. The 2025 Prius AWD doesn't completely reinvent itself, but it evolves in a way that actually matters. And now the final question is simple: does that evolution make it worth your money? So, after everything we've seen, here's the bottom line: the 2025 Prius AWD is no longer just the safe choice. It's actually a smart one. What stands out most is how well it balances efficiency, practicality, and now finally confidence on the road. You're still getting outstanding fuel economy, a comfortable daily driving experience, and the kind of reliability people expect from Toyota. But now, with its bold design and AWD capability, it feels like a car you want to drive, not just one you settle for. Of course, it's not perfect. If you're looking for pure performance or a sporty driving feel, this isn't going to replace something built for excitement. And while the new design looks incredible, it does come with small compromises in rear space and visibility. But for most buyers, those trade-offs are minor compared to what you're gaining. So who is this car really for? If you're someone who wants maximum fuel savings without going fully electric, this makes a lot of sense. If you deal with changing weather conditions and want that extra traction from AWD, it's even more appealing. And if you've been waiting for a Prius that actually feels modern, stylish, and enjoyable, this might be exactly what you've been looking for. In today's US market, where EV prices are still high and not everyone is ready to switch, the Prius AWD sits in a very interesting position. It's practical, efficient, and now more versatile than ever, which could make it one of the smartest buys in its segment. So the real question is, would you actually choose this over an electric car, or stick with something more traditional? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more real-world car content.